Well, hey there, it's Jen.
And Elke, welcome back to the Print on Demand marketing and strategy show, which is the Jen and Elke show. And I'm Elke, obviously. And we are so excited to do this segment because what if one of your listings could make you $14,250 like Jen's listing did? Aha. Oh, we have your attention now. Okay. So, and the reason is that there's so many different parts to this reason. And that's what we're going to get into in this segment. So keep watching, make sure you watch all the way to the end, because we're going to explain this and we're going to give you a way to also understand this more and put it into practice so that you can make more sales. Okay.
Yes. Imagine that one of your products sold over $14,000 worth of in sales, and having that number on your, on your dashboard and seeing that. That's so awesome. And that's not only just the one product that's selling in my store. I have multiple products in my store that have sold in that amount of sales as well. And so we're going to be talking about the one thing that's crushing your POD sales. Okay. And we came out really, really hot at the beginning of this show saying, imagine you could make that much money or have that much in sales. But if you don't have a specific thing that's implemented in your store, then unfortunately those sales might not even be existent in your store because you are missing the brief on your intentional designs. And that's where we're going to come into the point of this video here. If you don't do your research in terms of your design skill sets and also within your niche, and then who your perfect avatar is or your perfect customer, and understanding how to really hone in on those design skills and create those intentional designs, then unfortunately you might not be able to sell very much at all. Okay. You might be spending hours and hours designing certain products and thinking that they're pretty good, or that maybe you like them and that you would buy them. But if you haven't done the research in creating those intentional designs, then unfortunately, you might not see any money coming in. And we don't want that to happen, because we know that there is so much abundance on the print on demand space, especially on the platform called Zazzle, which we love to talk about because that's our preferred platform of choice for print on demand. And so if you know the Zazzle marketplace and have done your research for intentional designs, that's where the sweet spot is. And that's where you will see those sales come in. We can't make any income claims, but we can tell you that there's proof of my products that I have sold. This one product that I'm going to showcase to you in a second, it has sold over $14,000 worth of sales on Zazzle. Okay, let's dive in really quickly.
Before you share your screen, we want to just get a little bit more clear on what does it means to be like doing an intentional product, because most people are, we've got a lot of things going on here. I think, is my power still on? Yeah, I think I just kind of lost some stuff. Okay. The most important, I got like a lot of dings in the back. All of a sudden, it's like, what's going on?
Facebook is sending us messages. That's what I got.
Okay,
those things
all
too.
right.
All good.
We're all good. Okay, so here we go. We're here live. We are real. We're not AI generated. We have glitches in our recording. We're not polished. That's the whole point. We are the real deal, and we help you because you are the real deal. You need to make the real money, and this is why we're here to help you with this, okay? So what we've done is we've coined this word intentional products or designs. And in that case, what it is, and you just have to look up the word in the dictionary, and it just means that you are intending it full on 100% to sell this to someone, okay? But it's not just your hope and wish that you're going to sell something. It is that you are truly serving a need that the customer is going to open their wallets for, or tap their phone for. And because of that, that's where people get stuck. And so you can have a store that has a ton of beautiful designs in it, and you think you're giving that customer what they need, but really you're not. And that's why Jen was talking about that research. And sometimes the research is actually the hardest part to figure out. And because of that, I'm just going to put a plug in right here already, is that we have this membership called the Design Divas membership. And that is where you're going to not just find out what like how to do a good design, but it's not good, it's intentional, right? Because you're intentionally designing specifically for a service that you are going to get paid for as a person buying your digital online product that's either going to turn into a physical product, or the one that we're going to give you as an example can also be just a digital copy that they can print at home, or it'll get printed out as paper. It doesn't matter. It's the first thing is, how do you define an intentional product? So it has to be the right niche that you're like you have to pick a niche. You have to know that niche. That's why Jen talked about research. You have to know what the product is that service that you want to give that person that's going to buy from you. What product do they really need that on? Because there's so many people that go like, oh, I'll just sell t-shirts. Why? What if they don't want a t-shirt? What if they want an invitation? What if they want a sticker? What if they want a mug? So you have to make that decision, because that already starts your marketing and promotional strategy, which is what we're the experts on. And then the last thing is deliverability. And this is where people lose out, because they go like, I picked a niche. I figured out I'm going to do baby shower or something, or I'm going to, like do something for a lawn mowing company as a business card. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you finally pick those things, but then you didn't do the research to understand what is the design they want, the how it's going to serve them as the design, and also the color scheme, the fonts, the positioning, all of that. And that's why the Design Divas comes in, because you finally get to see how even you bringing something to maybe 50 or 60% of what is needed to be an intentional design, and shows you how to get to that 90-95% so that you have a better chance of selling. Because otherwise you can have a lot of products in your store that look awesome and never sell. So there's my input into that. And now we're going to show you an example.
Yes, here really quickly. So this is the product that had over $14,000 worth of sales, and it is one of the top selling products that I have had. And funny enough, like I made this, and this still sells to this day. I made this many years ago, but it's like still intentional. And the reason why I know that it is intentional, because I did the research first of all, and I know that there is components that need to actually have in this product to make it cohesive and look good, right? The aesthetic needs to look good so that people get attracted to it, and plus it needs to be on point with either design trends or themes that are happening. So I know that this sort of structure of the wedding invitation is a popular like setup, let's call it that. So I did my research in terms of how the actual information is supposed to be displayed on the wedding invitation. And then second,
save the date, right? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, save the date, not the wedding invitation. But it's funny because I label it. Yeah. So it's the save the date, and it's got a really nice photo, which is showcasing obviously a couple and they're in love. And it's in this nice, really rustic theme that goes along with my actual design here, where I have sunflowers and some baby's breath of a graphic that I created. Okay. And I've chosen the fonts, and each of the fonts go well together. I've chosen a script font and then a serif font, and both of those are paired really well together. And you'll understand that once you start to work with different fonts, as well as that certain fonts go well together, and they're cohesive, right? Even though they're not the same font. And you have to play around with also the rule of threes. And the rule of threes, where I can showcase to you, is the number one thing that we have here is the photo. The second component is the sunflower. And then the third component here is my text that I have at the bottom. And you feel like, although it's split in half, it's actually not 100% in the middle. It's a little bit lower than the half mark. And so it feels good to look at, and it looks nice, right? It's not jarring. It doesn't make you feel awkward. You're not pulled to certain areas more so than the other. It's a nice flow of things, because you start with the photo, then you go to the graphic, and then you come down to the text here. And so this for me is an intentional product, and the fact that it's obviously being viewed a lot and then also has sold a lot obviously is the proof of the concept, right? And I did a lot of research to make this design so that it felt good to me, and I felt like I was really targeting the niche that I was looking in with the rustic theme for the save the dates, and also targeting my perfect customer, and then going within the trends that were happening and are happening right now. And then I'll showcase to you really.
It's interesting because I looked at it as a save the date. But you did actually position it as a wedding invitation, and it's kind of fun because at that point in time, that when you posted that, it was specifically more of a wedding invitation, where and it sold that way, obviously, but it can also be flexible and be used as a save the date, which is kind of fun. And
Yeah.
I'm even wondering, because intentional product design is only then there's also the actual labeling of the listing. And I like that you have it as a wedding sunflower invitation, but I bet you you can even make more money with that if you switch the title now and you
Yeah.
moved it around and actually put the word wedding right next to invitation, and then maybe even reposted it as another, like a save the date option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is just an like a product that I'm, as I said, I made a while back, so I could definitely edit it and I mean, potentially recover it and make it viable again for sales. Now, we'll quickly, because we are going to wrap up in a second here, start to look at this one here. Stop. This one here, where we've got another save the date that I created, and it has 0 sales and very, very few views. I think it has like 6 views. And I created this product thinking that this was going to be a big seller, because at this point in time, save the dates that were very minimalistic with only text were very popular. And I had some really great success with other save the dates that were just like this. However, this one did not end up taking off. And I mean, I could definitely nitpick about a couple things, but I think that the photo is very dark, and it's definitely a romantic photo, but it doesn't look like, they're very casual, and maybe I would choose a different photo that would be a little bit more like to bring people in. The font that I chose was one popular font that was a new font, and it was called Abro Fat Face, that came out. However, it wasn't actually a font that was being used for the save the date, like the actual text for save the date. And I just decided to go outside of the trend box and use this font instead. And then I also didn't put a gradient on here, so that if somebody had a different photo than this one here that I've chosen, they potentially might not be able to see that small text at the bottom that says Jennifer and Alexander, in the little tiny text there. Then on the back here, I definitely was trying to create another kind of cool trend, which I think this is really neat in terms of the concept. Once again, it depends on the photo that's chosen for sure. And then I would say that the text needs to be, brought in a little bit, because it's very much spaced out. And then this bottom text here that says the wedding website is very long and very close to the edges of the card. So there are some things that I would definitely choose to make different. It's a little bit difficult though too with minimalistic designs, because you're basically just working with pictures and fonts to actually make the design. So if you don't hit the brief of being that intentional product within the font/photo like world, where it's that minimalistic feel, then unfortunately you're not going to hit the mark, and then you're just going to have a product that just floats around like this one did and didn't make any sales.
So even though both of those look like gorgeous products, because one was more like just brought to more than 95% done, and it, like, there weren't any gaps or issues that might be something that the customer will go like, oh, I don't actually feel like this is the right one for me. It has to be a 3-second yes. And the first one is definitely a 3-second yes, because it met the brief and was the intentional product design full on. And the other one still could have moved a little bit further. And even some people are going to argue, oh, well, you only had 6 views on it, so how come of course it didn't sell. But it's also the title tags could have been improved, but they're not all the be all and end all, because a lot of the invitation can still be seen without the views. And then it's just not getting clicked because of the actual visual to start with. So the visual itself has to sell that card to start with, and it has to meet all of the pieces that people will end up seeing all in 3 seconds in order for it to actually go like, ooh, I want to check this out. Yeah.
So if you want to learn more and have your designs critiqued personally by myself, then join the Design Divas. The link is in the description below. The concept of the Design Divas is that we meet twice a month, and you bring it to the Zoom call session your design that you want critiqued by me. And what we will do is do a personalized review for you within a group setting, and it's really exciting. Everybody loves it. You get to take home all of the information that I do in terms of the changes to your design, and then you can use that to post for sale. And I have so many success stories of people who have taken my advice, made the differences and the changes, and actually it came to me and said either they've increased their views or actually increased their sales as well. So I want to help you with your design, so make sure that you click the link in the description of this video to join the Design Divas. We will see you in the membership. Bye.